So no break this time. We are actually going to go right into the other match as soon as they're ready. So why don't we flip over while they're getting their match set up. This is going to be LocoPojo's Xenon deck, the one that we talked about. It's a little bit of a ramp deck. I don't know if it's technically a ramp deck, but it's the deck that has Talir's Favor, Trailmaker, Amber Acolyte into Incarnis, Predatory Carnosaur, and Marison. And that's going to be against CaptainTeembro's Combray Aggro deck. Now remember, CaptainTeembro started off 3-0 before dropping the last round to Mediocre there. So this is going to be a close one. I don't know who I would take here. We'll have to see how it plays out here. But they are ready, so let's go down and get the players set here. And they are just about to begin. And we are going to spectating from LocoPojo's side. And then we will have CaptainTeembro's hand cam here. And they are ready, so let me send you down right now. Alrighty, so we've got LocoPojo at the bottom here. They just played out a Talir's Favored. Let's see, they've got the Omnivorous Vorlunk in hand, they've got an Incarnis, they've got an Amber Acolyte, they've got a Smuggler, and they've got a Marison. And on the other side of things, Teembro's got, shocker, shocker, Finest Hour and an Omri's Choice to go along with a Kieran Ascendant and 2 emblems in hand.
I mean, I really hope they're not spending all their luck before an ECQ on a Tuesday tournament. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're getting it, and it's great that we get to enjoy it. But, man, that'd be frustrating if they do one of those things where they get in the ACQ and then they see, like, one Finest Hour in, like, 4 games.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, I've been pretty impressed with the Earth Elemental off of the time the time one. I think that one and probably the Deadly are the 2 most powerful ones, believe it or not, in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, they're all powerful, just similar to the Invokers, just being able to get something for essentially free, for not spending a card in your deck to be able to get a free value, even if it's a small unit. And these aren't even small units; these are meaningful units. You know, a 2/2 Death Touch, a 3/3 Overwhelm. You know, they are meaningful units that you're getting off of without having to spend a card in your deck.
Yeah, another advantage of open deck lists is the fact that CaptainTeembro is able to deploy these Kieran Ascendants pretty aggressively, knowing when they have to hold them for potentially an opponent's attachment, or just being able to deploy them and get an additional threat on the board early.
Pojo going to play out the Incarnis here. Let's see what they grab. They're going to pick up an Auric Captain. That's pretty good. 5/5 lifesteal that other shadow units get +1/+1. That'll be nice with the Incarnis as well. Pojo are going to call the block here. Of course, we know that Teembro has the pump spell in hand, as he always does. He's going to be able to take care of that Incarnis, but Pojo did get a unit off of the Incarnis already.
Yep, and of note, once again, the difference between Omri's Choice and Finest Hour there, where not only was Teembro able to take out the Incarnis, but still get in additional damage. So the block was a little less effective than it could have been should have that played out to be Finest Hour. Seed of Progress coming down for Teembro, and then they swing with everything minus the Trailmaker. And then LocoPojo snapping off the box, realizing that they'd rather make it to the late game to allow their stronger cards to get there.
And actually enforcing, it is a 2-for-1 on those units, but also forcing that Finest Hour out of Teembro's hand, so they don't have it for later on maybe a more impactful play here. Pojo going to fire out the Smuggler here. You're going to grab a Malediction, and that's a great Malediction turn right here.
Yep. Immediately snapping it off here, clearing out the board, not able to trigger the Exalted either. Teembro does have a way of deploying some additional threats, but, I mean, this might have bought LocoPojo enough time. They're still at 13 with 5 cards in hand.
And Teembro being forced to use those Finest Hours on the previous turns. Pojo may have played that intentionally very well to be able to force the Finest Hour on the previous turn with that double block, knowing to grab that Malediction on the following turn.
Really surprised that, I was really surprised that LocoPojo would have blocked there, considering that, Teembro just snapped off that attack.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a tough bluff, but honestly, when you're attacking your valuable 3/3 into your 5/5 lifesteal, you wouldn't make that bluff attack if you didn't have a way to back it up. It's too risky for them to call it.
Yeah, well, especially having lifesteal, because lifesteal is
Yeah.
once again one of the ways you get back out of this. And then here we go, Xenia and Niche.
Oof.
So not only being able to kill the Rent Seeker, but also gaining 6 life in the process, putting LocoPojo back up to 13.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Not having a pump, and then we're gonna play out the Kieran Ascendant. Ooh, and a Karnas off the top, so a really good draw too for Pojo. Gonna grab a Vorlunk. That's gonna take care of the Kieran Ascendant.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't have to worry about his life at all. Gaining 6 a turn. Really just
Yeah,
focusing
see,
on trading cards here.
and here's what we talked about earlier, where yes, okay, Curse of Taxation, now LocoPojo is nowhere near hitting those 7 and 8 power cards, but at the same time, like, what did they do with their turn?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where there is benefit to it and good on them, but when they already have a board state, it's kind of a turn too late, so to speak. And yep,
Yep.
CaptainTeembro sees the writing on the wall and calls it a game.
Yep. Well played by both players there. Pojo, that was a really well timed malediction. Going back again, I'm going to give Pojo a lot of credit there. I think that that double block was really crucial there. Recognizing that Team Bro's deck has a lot of these pump spells, is looking to win combats and set up a situation where they had the smuggler in hand. They knew that they had the malediction that they were going to go grab, and so setting up a situation to try to force those finest hours and other pump spells out of Team Bro's hand before firing off the malediction to make sure that it had the highest chance of sticking. Really smart play there by Pojo.
Yeah, and that's obviously once again that fine decision tree from coming from an aggro deck where you have to decide, okay, do I keep my 2/3 alive or do I get in 3 damage in the air? Because one of those finest hours in the air would have triggered the mastery sooner and could have potentially led from instead of 3 damage to 9 damage instead in the air.
All right, Pojo here, aggressively keeping a 2 power hand, but knowing that they have the Trailmaker, and then they have the Amber Acolyte to follow it up, as well as 2 Vorlunks and a Zenith Temple. See, now this Curse of Taxation might do something here, knocking Pojo down again. Pojo now can't play anything in their hand, but they do draw the Shadow Sigil, and then being able to fire off the Amp, or they could do the Acolyte, but they're also going to just take out the Vorlunk here to take out the Trailmaker on Team Bro's side.
All right. Well, luckily, CaptainTeembro able to deploy 2 threats this turn. I find it hard to believe that they would go with one of the 3 drops when they have 2 good 2 drops to
Yeah.
play. But we'll see. I could be wrong. They know the deck better than I do. But I think here maximizing their power. Yep.
Yeah,
And sure
you
enough,
don't want to
that's what we're
waste the
gonna
power.
see.
It's a good rule of thumb. It's not always true, but anytime, if there's a close play and maximizing your power is a good way to go. Play another Vorlunk here to take out the 3/1, but not really being able to attack either. Keeping the deadly unit back to block.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. Like, I wonder if you do just attack to try to get the Scorpion out of the way because you know what I mean? It's hard. You're in a really tough position with that Scorpion because
Yep,
your deck has really no clean way of interacting with you. And sure enough, that's what
yep.
CaptainTeembro sees. They rather just go ahead and get it out of the way and swings in.
Get it out of the way when you know they're going to block, or when you can pretty much force the block. Just make it now and then clear the way for your other units. Gonna play Citywide Man here. So do you think
Which I
did they name Marison with this, you think? No, they're going to name Xenon Temple. Oh, and then drawing a Xenon Temple for the turn. That's brutal for Pojo.
wow. Good heads up play. Hopefully when CaptainTeembro sees the VOD, they'll be like, oh, okay.
Psychic knew that was happening. All right. Now, Pojo here does have the Smuggler. See if they go for the Malediction again here. They're not. They're going to go to Swirl the Sands. They're probably going to do that to put the Relic on the bottom of the deck, get rid of the Citywide ban, so they can play their Xenon Temple.
Yep. I wouldn't see why not. Xenon Temple, especially on this board, is decent card advantage. They seem to have a pretty stable board state, so they're able to, get their value out of it, getting an additional spell every turn, and then should they make it up to world joiner, like it's going to be tough for CaptainTeembro to come out of this.
All right, Team are going to fire off the attacks here. They know that they're the aggressor in the matchup. They got to keep putting pressure on Pojo. Although Pojo's still at 21 here.
Wow. So we're really seeing the value or how much Teembro puts on just stunning the opponent's power, deciding to play another Curse of Taxation instead of playing Rent Seeker.
Yep. And as we
And I
expected,
mean, it paid off.
Yeah, as we expected, they used this for the sands, but because of that second taxation, was not able to deploy the threat. But now, with the other Trailmaker, we'll be able to, on this following turn, play out the Xenon Temple. Go. Pojo just hitting the power drops. Now would be at 8 without these curses, but at 6, but is going to be able to play out the Xenon Temple here. Which Teembro does not want to see that. Going to go ahead and give the Amber Acolyte killer, take out the unit. Teembro's going to be down to just a 2-1 on board. And actually, Teembro down to 8 life.
Yeah, it's crazy. The aggressor here is instead at the lower life total.
Yeah. Not necessarily in threat of dying right now, but got to be careful with that. And play out their last 2 units.
Xenon Augury coming off of the Xenon Temple, allowing Pojo to essentially draw a card of their choosing, gain a little bit of life, and now Incarnus comes down, giving them a choice of a Shadow Attachment, spell, or unit. Let's see what they end up taking.
Oh, taking Winnow. Enemy units get -1/-1 against this board. Ouch.
Yeah,
exactly what they wanted to see there. I mean, at this point, they don't even have to. Pojo doesn't have to trade any resources here to clear the entire board from Teembro.
Yep. I like the fire listener early in the format because I was trying to build a mono fire deck with charge units, but man, I feel like all these listeners, I think at this point the only one that's not seeing play is the Justice one because they're all just seem to be so powerful.
They're all so powerful. Is actually going to trade the Incarnus here. Now this is an interesting. Okay, yeah, he's going to block the 2-1. Originally landed up against the 5-3, and I was like, that's an aggressive block. But this is going to work.
Yeah, they obviously just trying to capitalize and trigger the mastery as soon as possible.
Yep. So actually, I misspoke earlier. Because of the mastery, the Shenra is now out of range of the Winnow, of course. Yeah, Halfway Crusader just pointed that out as well. Yep, you're right. That is what I just noted. That did hit mastery, so that avoided the Winnow there. And Pojo does have Wasp that they can use here at some point if they choose to.
Yeah, Teembro's in. Yep, sure enough.
Teembro down to 5 anyway. Yeah, with the unblockable there. All right. Was that 2-0 for Pojo?
I believe so. Yes, it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations to LocoPojo for making the finals, and thank you again to CaptainTeembro. He got it this far. He had a great run. You know, we talked about how it's got to feel bad for Matty Oker for having that run. Same for Teembro, starting off the tournament 3-0 and then losing the last 2. But well played. I really like that Combray deck too. I really like the putting those finest hours and Omri's choices in there. I think against other aggro decks, as we talked about earlier, being able to kind of one up the other aggro decks in the format. You don't need a lot to be able to do that, but having a Finest Hour and Omri's Choice and other tools like that to be able to just get one up on the other aggro decks can be super powerful.